All week long, we've been shining a spotlight on the expenses that come with getting older in our series, The Cost of Aging. If you're the parent of a child with a disability, this may take on a different meaning. Many parents still care for their children who have disabilities into adulthood, but a study from 2018 found many of those parents don't make long-term care plans for their children, and that can mean making plans for a caregiver to succeed the current one or establishing a special needs trust.
Marvell Adams Jr. joins the conversation now. He's the CEO of Caregiver Action Network, an organization that works to improve the quality of life for millions of family caregivers. Thank you so much for joining us on Main and Wall, Marvell. And this is a type of caregiving that I think many people probably don't think about. What is unique about caregiving for an adult child with disabilities?
You know, the thing about that is so unique is that you really are talking about a lifelong supportive need that individual may have. And so as a parent, myself, of 3 kids, you know, you have this expectation of when they get in their late teens and their 20s that they begin to really flourish on their own. And that is the case for adults with special needs as well. But considering from a parental standpoint, there really is usually a longer period of time where support is necessary. And that brings into consideration that the parent really is going to be perhaps in a role of being a guide for decades to come in the life of their adult child with special needs.
And because it kind of, extends that timeline, if you will, from a financial standpoint, how does that kind of shake up the conversation around that kind of care?
It really brings into light the need for planning. And so if you think about just the aspect of as we grow into adulthood, being able to get our own career started, a job, bringing in income, and that also is something that an adult with special needs may be able to do, but it may not be to the breadth that someone without those needs has. And so for a parent to take in consideration that, one, the planning for their own finances and how they can support their child into adulthood and throughout their adulthood, but also recognizing that that income, really will be stretched across a time period that perhaps they hadn't planned when they started their family. So really taking a look at how can we not only increase our ability to continue to provide that support for our adult child, but also recognizing that there are programs out there and supports that can perhaps help with those financial needs.
And to that point about, the programs, the supports, because, and we had the statistic up there a little earlier, 77% of parents are going to be the caretakers, rather than, and here it is, 17% who live independently with support or going into group homes. So because it's such a vast amount of families who are taking this on, speak a little bit more about those resources.
Absolutely. So, we always advise folks when they call our help desk at Caregiver Action that there are resources that are available, whether it's through your local ARC program or any IDD community resource that may be available, but understanding that because of that time frame and having that elongated period of needing to support that loved one, being able to really have a sense whether it's through your local Medicaid program, whether it's through support groups, or even talking to your employer, because many times more and more employers are providing benefits that can help caregivers really carry that load and make it a little bit lighter, but also recognizing that insurance products, whether it's health insurance products, disability insurance, catastrophic insurance, all of those things are really necessity of conversation when thinking about the planning of your adult child with disabilities, but also recognizing that throughout that planning period, you really do have to have someone that's going to guide you. So Caregiver Action Network really focus on having people reach out to us at our help desk, and we can help you find local resources as well as national resources that can support an individual that has this situation.
And I've got 30 seconds left here with you because we, of course, the finance is so important. This is what we talk about on Main and Wall. But on the human side of it all, when you're a parent with a young child with disabilities, you're trying to plan this and you realize, of course, that you're not always going to be there, right? And you have to plan from an emotional perspective. What is one thing that you would want to share to those families who are experiencing this about that emotional side?
Yeah. No parent likes to think about a day where they're not going to be there with their child, but understanding that an adult with a disability or special needs really is going to have a proactive approach that's taken on by their parent or caregiver. And so in doing that, really understanding that you know your child the best and what their needs may be after your passing or after perhaps you are no longer to care for them the way that you are. And so whether it's talking with a financial planner, even just talking with your own local bank or insurance carrier about different options that may be available, but most importantly, ensuring that you have perhaps contacts, whether it's family members or friends or individuals that are already in or could be in the life of your adult child here and now, so that that relationship is built over a period of time, and so that should there come a need in the future where that support is needed and you have to really plan for after your passing the care for your adult child, that it's not abrupt, but it's really a part of a family expanding and wrapping their arms around that adult child and really ensuring that that continuity of care and support is there for the rest of their life.
Marvell Adams Jr., CEO of the Caregiver Action Network, thank you so much for your time and insight. We appreciate it, and folks, we'll be right back.